Here's more on Amber Heard and why she came across as one of the worst actresses in the world lying about Johnny Depp. That's next. Welcome back to the More channel, Schaikers. Derek Van Schaik here. This is a more on video of my main channel video on Amber Heard and how she is quite possibly the world's worst actor when she's lying about Johnny Depp. And if you saw that video, yeah, it's quite shocking how terrible of a liar she actually is. And she's a Hollywood actress. I mean, come on. She hasn't won an Oscar or anything. I don't know if she ever will. But how could a Hollywood actress possibly be that bad of an actor? It just blows my mind. And if we think about why she just came across as such a terrible actress, it's really because she just could not get into character. And that's the thing with acting, and the thing that I've noticed being involved with acting. Let's just put it that way. I'm not really an actor. I'll just say I'm involved in acting, and that can be for the vlog and some more insight as far as my personal life on that side of things. But with acting, you have to get into character. You have to be the character. And she just could not get into character. And she kept going in and out, doubting herself, looking at some of the attorneys and thinking that, oh my gosh, you're not believing what I'm saying. And they weren't, because she was not believing what she was saying. The first person that has to believe in their character and what they're saying is them. If you don't believe it, no one else is going to believe it either. So that's the first big thing, and why she just came across as such a terrible actor, clearly lying, and it was just so obvious what was going on. And of course, the big reason of why she even lied about any of this in the first place and tried to make up this elaborate story, which was clearly false, that Johnny Depp was doing any of this to her. It was clearly false. The reason why is just to offset what she did to Johnny Depp, which was very clear from the audio tapes that she was a bully. She was literally pushing him around, throwing things at him.
Just because I've thrown pots and pans does not mean that you come and knock on the door. Just because there are vases does not mean that you come and knock on the door. Why are you trying to justify who throws things based on whether or not you come knocking on the door? I don't get why.
Because that is an irrational and violent maneuver,
making his life miserable, physically miserable, that he would just basically want to remove himself from the situation, in part so that he doesn't have to deal with being physically abused by Amber Heard. And she said a few times in her audio tapes, oh, Johnny, you tend to leave the room even when I don't get physically violent with you.
I'm not going to get into the details of that fight. You and I both know that you split when there is no physical violence involved.
I split when I go into the other room, you said.
Well, for him, if you think about what he's thinking about, he's like, I don't know when you will get physically violent. You're not physically violent maybe at that second, but you tend to always get physically violent. So why don't I just remove myself so I don't have to deal with it? As you all can tell with these More on videos on this More channel, it's all longer form, less chops, more conversational. So you guys can also chat it out in the comments and just say what you're feeling about all of what happened in this topic here. Here's another thing I really want to mention, which is really airtight evidence, I think, against Amber. And a lot of you caught on to it too. And I mentioned it a little bit in the video, is that if anything like Amber has claimed, anything like that would have actually happened or been happening at all, we would have heard it in the audio clips. Something of that, of, hey, you know, you threw something at me, you physically hurt me, or anything like that, she would have said in the audio clips. But here's the thing too with the audio clips. She's the one who recorded all the audio clips. It wasn't him. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to record the audio clips and just cut some things out and not show people things, and it's going to be my version of what happened. No, it's her audio. It's all hers. And you can even hear in the main channel video, I included those bits where Johnny was actually saying, hey, text me the audio clips. I want to hear them.
You got the tapes. Let me hear them. Send me the recordings. Just text them to me.
If I move out, then you'll have them, and you can relish them. You won't like it, what you hear. won't make you happy.
They're not his. It's Amber's audio clips. And all the audio clips are all against her. Everything that she's saying that like, oh, this happened and that happened doesn't make any sense because everything points to her. It's Amber. She's the one who clearly was physically assaulting.
You're a fucking baby.
Because you start physical fights?
You're such a baby!
Because you start physical fights?
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did, so I had to get the fuck out of there.
Yes.
She was the one who even admitted it. She was the one who talked about it. Johnny was the one who was saying, you do this to me. She was the one who was like, well, yeah, that's, I do that to you, but, you leave the room. You leave the room or not. That doesn't matter. What's the question here is whether you physically assault. And clearly, we know what was happening because it was all in Amber's audio clips.
I said to you, hey, tell Travis what just happened.
You told me to do it. You
Yeah.
told me to. You said, go do that.
I said, no, tell him what just happened.
And I lied.
And that you punched me in the fucking thing. And you
figured
in the
it
face.
out.
And you said, no, I didn't. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's just mind-blowing that she was actually claiming this when it was clear throughout the whole thing Amber was the one who did it all. She's just batshit crazy. Talking about body language a little bit because we try to do a little bit of that here in these moron videos. At one point, she put her palms out like this, indicating, well, I don't know.
Let's see how hard I hit you.
When she was telling her story of how Johnny Depp did all those things that she made up. What that seemed to indicate was that she just really didn't know really if people were buying what she was saying. She was just like, and this happened? Are you buying this? Like, does this make sense based on what typically happens in this type of situation? When people fabricate stories, especially stories that they're not really familiar with because it never really happened to them, they don't really know what is believable or not, especially for people who do know what is believable and what's not based on their history of knowing that type of situation. For example, here with the lawyers, they hear about abuse more often and they know what would typically happen in an abuse. So when she made this gesture in the video indicating that, oh, I don't know, are you all buying this, right? She did not know if it was actually coming across as believable and wanted to get kind of feedback from the other lawyers if like, oh, okay, yeah, that happens. That's right. That's right. She was clearly very insecure when talking about her situation and clearly always looking for validation from them to make sure that she was on the right track. And that's why there was a lot of pauses. There was a lot of insecurity. There was a lot of, doubt in her mind. And she was speaking a lot of technicalities also.
The impact of which was significant in and of itself.
Because she was just so insecure in talking to experts that have seen this stuff over and over. And she was afraid that they were going to be able to see right through her, that she didn't really go through this, that her story just didn't make any sense, and which ended up causing her body language to come across as extremely deceptive. So now let's read some of your comments. Gemini Realum says, it sounds like she's making things up. He sounds like a real calm person. Exactly. That's pretty much what it is, She was extremely intense on all of the audio recordings that I've heard. She was the one who was really antagonistic is pretty much a good word to describe the way she treated Johnny Depp. And he was just really calm and really mellow. Just like, I don't want to be abused. I don't want to be physically assaulted. I don't want you to do that to me. I'm going to leave the room. I don't know when you will throw pots and pans at me. I don't know when you will throw a vase at me. I'm going to leave the room. I don't like this type of violence. I'm going to leave the room. I don't want to deal with this. And here's the thing, too. I mean, some may say, like, hey, in order to be in a good relationship, you need to confront your partner and not run away like she's claiming. That may be true or not true. I don't know the exact dynamics of their relationship. That's not the point. The allegations against Johnny was not that maybe he handled some things wrong in his relationship. And the terrible things that Amber is claiming of him aren't true. She just seems to be making it all up. Michael Terrell writes, this woman is psycho. She is the aggressor here, not Depp. Yes, if you were to hear the entire audio, she was antagonizing him. She was raising her voice, yelling at him, going after him, it seemed like.
Yes, I wanted to make you my wife.
Yes, but you could just have me as your girlfriend if you didn't want the foundation. And you told me, and maybe you go back on it now. Fine, okay, cool, lie about that, I don't know. You told me you wanted a foundation. You told me you wanted the security. You wanted the safety. You liked the foundation. At the beginning you said, I really like having that. It feels safe. So don't argue with me when I say it now.
I'm not arguing with you.
Oh, yeah, but you had to pick it apart.
By saying because I loved you and you're my wife, I wanted you to be my wife, that's picking it apart?
And he was like, yo, I just don't like this. I just like leaving and not having to deal with this psychoness. You know? Like, he just didn't want to deal with it. And who would? Would you want to have to deal with that? And it's just so sad because he's clearly very mellow. And it's just like, I don't want to have to deal with it. I just go away. And I'm doing what Amber had said is the admirable thing by walking away. And she was mocking that.
You did. So you did the right thing, the big thing. You know what? You are admirable. Every single time. What's your excuse? When there's not a physical fight, then what's the excuse there? You're still being admirable, right? Just by running away?
She was mocking that, and then here she goes and accuses him of something terrible, even when she admitted that what he does is admirable. K10LMS says, she's always been a horrible actress. I've never watched any Amber Heard movie. Like, I've never seen really any of them, I don't think. And I've only seen some of the previews and the trailers of some, but she must be. The only way she could have done any worse is if she just blatantly slipped, where she was just like talking about, he did this to me, Johnny Depp's innocent, and then he did this to me. Teacher Explains says, I hate women who pretend to be victims. They discredit the true survivors. Yes, absolutely. There are real women who go through what Amber Heard is blatantly lying about. Real women who do, okay? And she's just lying about it just to save her career, to have a counter defense to what Johnny Depp is legitimately claiming about Amber Heard, that she did all these terrible things to him. But that's one of the reasons why it's important to call out Amber Heard here, so that these types of situations are isolated and that people don't get this false idea that, oh, everyone's like Amber Heard. Morgan S. says, it's laughable. They thought this deposition would help Amber. She looks like a total joke. Here's the first thing that went through my mind when I first saw that deposition. See if it went through your mind too. She probably told her lawyer, like, hey, you know, I think I can get away with maybe lying about something like this, or telling this story of, you know, how something like this happened, okay? And he was like, okay, sounds good. Do you want to practice? She's like, I don't need to practice. I'm a Hollywood actress. And she just thought, like, she can just go into the deposition and just completely just blow everyone away because she's on the big screen. She doesn't need to practice. She would just, you know, just knock everyone's socks off and just fake cry, and everyone would be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that really happened to you. We're going to need to settle this case. That must have happened. No one could possibly act that good.
And
She got intimidated, she got scared, and apparently she is probably one of the worst actresses in the world. At least what I saw here. Again, I haven't really seen any of her movies, so I can't really say. But to think that a Hollywood actress could actually give that kind of deposition is ridiculous. She can't be that good of an actress. I'm kind of curious now to kind of watch one of her videos. But no, I am not going to be paying for the movie. I don't want her to get any money from me. I'll have to like rent it from the library or something like that. So there's no possibility that she'll ever get 1 cent from me. Because if you watch it on Netflix or something like that even, right? You know, that will eventually kind of trickle to her because it's demand of that movie on Netflix, which is going to increase the demand of her as an actress, which I don't want to be a part of. I don't want to support her. Give this video another thumbs up if you think Amber Heard was lying. Give this video a thumbs down if you think Amber Heard was completely truthful. If you think she was truthful, I almost want to meet you Actually, I'm kind of scared to meet you if you actually think she's truthful. Gosh. The like percentage on my main channel video is 99.1%. I've never had that big of a like percentage. Now in the comments, what did you think of Amber Heard's acting job? Let everyone know in the comments below. Remember to hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss out on more moron videos from videos on my main channel. And I'll see you at the top.